Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our 10th online assembly for the year. Lots to get through as usual, so let's make a start. And to start with, I'd like to introduce your student parliament, Suvan and Francesca.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suvarn from the Student Parliament.
And I'm Francesca, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about our upcoming ideas and events. So firstly, we acknowledge that it's been very hard for you guys during COVID, and it's been hard to have fun, so we want to bring you some events. So the first event we have planned is Cafeteria Theme Days. Through your guys' feedback, we have realized that you guys want more food variety in the cafeteria. So Cafeteria Theme Days is going to be a day where you guys can tell us what type of food and cultures you want to see on plates, and then Ludovico, one of the chefs, will try and put that on the plate and give that to you guys. And we'll also be trying to work with Student Co. to try and promote it, put some decorations up, do some different activities and stuff like that. But for that, we need your guys' feedback. So on the weekend, we're going to send out a survey, and it would mean a lot to us if you guys could give us some feedback on what type of foods you want to see. That could be anything: Chinese food, African food, Italian food, anything you want.
Okay, so I'll share two more ideas that are going to be happening in the upcoming weeks before the end of school. So firstly, we are going to be working closely with the Eco Society and collaborate for a campaign related to reducing waste, specifically food waste. We want to stress the importance of an issue such as climate change and emphasize the fact that you can all take individual actions to combat it. Secondly, we have seen you working very hard in the past months. This year, particularly with COVID, has been a tough one on all of you, no matter the year. So we are trying to organize a well-being week. A week where you can learn about the importance of mental health and well-being, and you get to enjoy some more relaxing activities. For example, meditation, games, walks, etc. This is to take your mind away from all the schoolwork you've been doing, since we've all been seeing you working really hard. Lastly, we encourage you to please email the Student Parliament Gmail account if you have absolutely any suggestions, comments, or questions you have, because it would be a great help for the Student Parliament as a whole. We're planning to send out another email from the Parliament to remind you, because it'd be really helpful for us to organize any other activities if you could give your suggestions on the topic. So that's it from me, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day.
Have a nice week.
Thank you very much, both of you. Some interesting and important information there about the future direction of the Parliament. And now we have Mr. Turland, who's going to tell us a little bit more about some further successes in the middle school.
Hello. Today I've got the pleasure of giving out some awards. So in middle school, Year 8 and Year 9 take part in a competition called the Bebrass Competition. This is a computational thinking competition that requires students to show their logical thinking and problem-solving skills. This is the second year I myself have taken part. And every year we get awards for where we place internationally. So if you are in the top 10% internationally, you will receive a distinction award. And these are the students who received the distinction award this year, which is a huge increase on where we were last year, which I think shows the level of experience in digital design that students are now receiving here. So if you see your name up there, you might need to pause it. There's quite a few names to go through. But I would like to talk about the students who came in the top 3 for each year group. So in Year 8, here are the top 3 students. We have Arthur, who came 3rd with 138 points. Nikos, who came 2nd with 140 points. And Yunting, who came 1st with 144 points. I'd like to give them certificates that they've been awarded. Okay, Arthur. Yunting. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to Year 9 awards. So in third place for year 9 was Lucas with 157 points. Petra came second with 162 points. But in first place with 166 points and a new school record was Jake Britton. If you'd like to come and receive your certificates. Well done. Thank you. Congratulations, Petra. And Jake, well done. New school record. So the results of these will actually go up on a new plaque outside the digital design room, so please keep an eye out for them. Yeah, thank you.
I am very happy to be here to talk about the PTA Fitness Challenge in support of Cecily's Fund. You've probably seen the advertisements around the school for this. I've been coming to the school for over 20 years, and one of the high points every year was to run the course à travers Puy in support of Cecily's Fund. Now, to talk a little bit more about this organisation, here is Mr. Ivett.
Thank you. Cicily's Fund was set up 25 years ago by the family and friends of Cicely Eastwood. My second teaching job was in the British Embassy School of Athens, and that was where I met Cicely. She was in my English class for 2 years, and in those days I also taught clarinet. And we used to squeak through these awful duets together after school. As a character, Cicely was dynamic, argumentative, and in your face. She also had a pretty wicked sense of humour and would do anything to help out a friend or anyone in need. When she left Athens, she kept in touch with me. She would send me occasional letters telling me what she was doing with her life and what she thought I should be doing with mine. That's her signature there next to her face. After graduating school, she had decided to take a gap year before taking up her place at Cambridge University. And she went out to Zambia to work in an international school there as a teacher's aide. She hoped to earn just enough money to travel around Zambia, and it was while she was there she saw firsthand the effects of HIV/AIDS in this area of Zambia. This was in the late 1990s, just before the full devastating impact of AIDS in Africa was becoming apparent to the rest of the world. Well, Cicely was someone who could not stand around and watch when there was such a desperate need. So in her free time from the international school, she started helping out at a small Norwegian organization that was giving support to the children and orphans who had survived the AIDS crisis in the local town. I think for Cicely, a light came on and she suddenly realized why she was there in Zambia and what her purpose was. The accident that killed Cicely was as silly as it was tragic. The international school students were going on an overnight trip, and Cicely was going along as a chaperone. The kids were all in the school bus, and all their luggage was in a minibus which was to follow on behind. They were about to leave, and there was still no sign of the bus driver of the minibus. So Cicely, being Cicely, said she'd drive it and follow on behind. She'd just got her driving license that summer in the UK. Fate took one of its sudden turns, and while driving the minibus alone with the luggage, the front wheel of the bus hit a pothole in the road and the bus turned over and Cicely died instantly. I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing when I received the phone call telling me of Cicely's death. As a person, she had been so alive and so full of energy, and it was hard to believe and accept that all of this was gone. I can't imagine what her parents felt. It is, of course, every parent's nightmare. They immediately went out to Zambia, and there were a lot of arrangements to be made. And in a mixture of shock, unreality, and grief, they wanted to see for themselves what Cicely had been doing in Zambia. They were deeply moved by the reception they received from the organization and the orphan children that Cicely had been working with in her spare time. And they knew instantly what they had to do. It was as clear as if Cicely was speaking to them. They simply had to carry on the work that she had been doing, the work that was clearly very close to her. Within a year, Cicely's Fund was established. Family and friends to start with, but it grew steadily and was doing incredible work. ISL has been involved in Cicely's Fund right from the beginning. And this year will be the 24th year that ISL has helped the fund provide free primary and secondary school education to orphans and vulnerable children in Kitwe, Zambia. It is, in fact, the leading provider of education support in Kitwe because it believes that education provides a route out of poverty for orphans and vulnerable children, their families and their communities. Its goal is to work with local Zambian partners to develop sustainable programs that reduce dependency, to strengthen the ability of communities to support themselves, and to improve the livelihoods of the most vulnerable children and their families. Its aim is to help Zambians help themselves. Their programs include, they enable orphans and vulnerable children to attend school. You can't attend school in Zambia unless you can buy the school uniform. And sometimes it's as simple as that, buying a uniform so that children can attend school. Also, keeping girls in school is really important. The education of boys is often prioritized above that of girls. And this effort to keep girls in school has been really successful. They also offer peer health education programs, particularly focusing on sexual health as well, sexual and reproductive health. And then they prepare students for life beyond school. They have an entrepreneurship program, and they also help educate older students who would like to become teachers and get involved in teacher training. And now recently, of course, with COVID there, as you know, COVID always affects the poor disproportionately to the rich. And in Zambia, Cicely's Fund now is working again with those poorest families and those vulnerable children that are supported by the fund, and they provide them with emergency food and support packs during this COVID epidemic. So the fund does really good work, and ISL has been associated for a number of years, and it's fantastic that we're able to continue that. Mr. Harrison is going to explain how we can continue and support this fantastic organization.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ivett. It's always reassuring to know the story behind the work that we do at ISL. So, you've heard about the what and the why. Let me tell you who can be involved in this fitness challenge. And the answer is absolutely everybody at ISL. Whether you're an adult or a child, primary or secondary, we all want to get moving in order to help Cicely's Fund. And this will take place during the whole of the month of May, which starts on Monday. So what do you have to do? What's the how here? Well, there are 3 or 4 easy steps. The first one is pick yourself up a sponsorship form so that you can start to raise the vital money that we need. It doesn't matter if it's only 1 or 2 francs, it all counts. And we do expect everybody to try their best to get as many sponsors as possible. Next, sign up to the virtual mission. So there is a web page which has been created by the PTA. Now there is a €7 sign-up fee. That money, I have to be clear, does not go to Cicely's Fund, but you can contribute when you sign up by signing up for more than €7. You can also, to keep those costs down a little bit, sign up as a family. And once you're inside, you will have all of the information and, vitally, how to log your distance. Because what we're trying to do is get from Switzerland to Japan, where the Olympics, a little delayed, are going to take place hopefully later this year. And the route is going to stop off at a few of the alumni of ISL on the way. Now, the great thing about this, compared to maybe previous years, is you don't have to be just a runner to take part. Using this conversion table, you can take any exercising, whether it's running or swimming or even cheerleading. You can convert it into kilometers and log your distance as you go along. And then the final step is at the end of May, you need to collect all of that money and turn it in to me or one of your homeroom teachers. The PTA has set a goal, a big goal of 5,000 Swiss francs. And we are already on the way with several people who have signed up to the virtual mission. So let's get involved, ISL. It's been a long time since we've done everything as a school, all with the same cause. And I think I can't think of a better cause to contribute to. We look forward to your involvement, and I wish you a very good day.